We are going to practice our syllables and words to help us read those big multi-syllable words together. So we're just going to go over these quickly. I know you know them really well. Just going to give you a simple word. You can tell me why it's an example of each of these words, and then I'm going to have you practice reading some examples of multisyllabic words inside of our story. And this will be good too because there's also a lot of sight words in there that you can read as well. So let's go over these super quick. So tell me about closed syllable words.
Closed is when the consonant, or not the consonant, the vowel is short and it's closed by a consonant.
You got it. So let's do this word.
Splash. It is short and it is closed because it's got a consonant.
Good job. How many syllables are in that word?
One.
One. Perfect. So tell me about open syllables.
It's gotta be like a long. It's gotta be long and it's gotta end with a vowel.
Very good. So the syllable, right, ends with the vowel. So what about this word? What word is this?
So S-O is one syllable, and then L-O is one syllable, and they're both open.
Good job. And say the word one more time.
Solo.
Solo. Good job.
VCE is when it's a vowel, consonant, and then silent E.
Very good. So read this word.
Them.
Look at it again. Because remember, this is good. Because that vowel has to be long, right? Because it's got the silent E at the end. So say it one more time.
Theme.
Theme. And tell me why it's a VCE.
Because there is a E, which is a vowel, an M, which is a consonant, and an E silent.
Very good. How many syllables?
One.
One. Very good. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of re-jog our memory, remember those. Use these rules as you're reading. If you get to a word that you do not know, try and see, okay, is there a closed syllable? Do I see examples of open syllables or that VCE? So we are actually going to practice reading in our story. So we're going to start off on chapter 11. If you just want to go ahead and begin reading.
Unthinkable.
Good job. We started off with a good word.
Unthinkable. George whispered, so those words like a prayer.
A prayer. You had it.
A prayer. Over and over in his mind. He thought of Mr. Andrew, of how sure he was this ship.
Joe, why don't you read that sentence one more time?
He thought of Mr. Andrews, of how sure he was of this ship.
Good job.
But the longer he stared at the water, that foaming green water.
Look at it one more time. We see two vowels, so that first one's going to say its name. Foaming.
Foaming green water, rising higher every second. The more certain he became, the Titanic was in trouble. We must go up, Marco said to Aunt Daisy. We find a way, but she shook her head, holding up Phoebe's bright blue coat and her life jacket. Nice. My niece, Phoebe, Aunt Daisy said. She's down here. George could see she was fighting back tears. George had never seen her look so sad and helpless, not even when Uncle Cliff died. She came down here looking for me, George said. We can't find her. Marco's Amber.
Good job, put it together.
Marco's Amber eyes became very intent, and idea of said.
Look at that one more time.
An idea. He said.
Very good.
He knelt down and spoke. to Enzo, Italian.
In Italian.
In Italian. The boy smiled and nodded. Then Marco,
O-I, when it's together, makes one sound. It usually says hoy. So, hoisted.
Hoisted the little boy up onto his shoulders. Enzo took a huge breath and screamed, Phoebe, Phoebe.
Good job.
The people stopped talking and stared up at the boy with the
Break that in two.
foghorn voice. Phoebe, Phoebe. As a hush fell over the crowd, George heard a faint voice, I'm here, I'm here. The crowd erupted and Phoebe appeared. Her
Spectacles. Good job.
Her face.
So take off the ending. What word do you have?
Crook.
Crook. Then ED says.
Crooked her face. Or crook.
Crooked. Sometimes they can say d or t or ed. Good job.
Okay.
Crooked.
Her
As you can see, as we're reading this, we can use these different syllable patterns to help us decode and understand those big words, okay? And use these as you're reading. If you come to something that you don't know, try and pay attention. Do I see that vowel closed in, okay? Do I see that open vowel at the end? And especially this VCE, I saw this a lot when we were reading. Did you see that? Yeah. So this can really help us to pay attention. This has to be that long sound. That E is silent. Good job.